everybody, Wannabe Reviewer here, and welcome back to the Wannabe Podcast, episode 45. Before we begin this week's podcast, I just want to say that I am super excited because I have my second, my sister, I guess, counted as a guest, right? So I have another guest on, I guess technically like my second or third, however you want to count it. But however, yes, I have another guest on this week. I'm really excited. He's someone that I've actually worked with in the past. If you guys saw, I put like a little preview thing about a review we did about the first Pokemon movie, and there's actually another project we have coming up, which I'm not going to spoil quite yet, but all that aside, I have a guest on this week. His name is Terrific, and say hello, Terrific.
Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's the boy Young Toothpick, joined here with my friend Peter Rabbit, and we are here doing a podcast. And you already know how it goes down. I'm here going to bring some lively energy, hopefully. I'll try not to be as inappropriate as I can be. I'm not setting a good first impression. I'm not that inappropriate. I like to have fun and make jokes, so I'll leave it at that.
All right. Yeah, that was a weird first impression. It's staying in, man. So that was your one shot. But yeah, real quick, just tell people kind of, a little bit about yourself. What do you do over on your YouTube channel? What's it about?
Okay. All right. Well, my channel, I'm still a baby on YouTube. Been doing this for about a year and a half now. Started out doing Pokemon. And now I'm branching out to doing more just all Nintendo games, hopefully is what I want to start doing. But right now I'm just focusing on Pokemon because that's my primary thing. It's my passion. But I'm also currently doing The Legend of Zelda, and then I have plans to do just other Nintendo-related projects. So, I don't know, maybe like Kirby, Donkey Kong, Star Fox, and, just stuff up that alley. So, yeah.
All right, guys. So there you go. I will try to link Terrific somewhere in the description below. But yeah, basically Terrific. He's an awesome LPer. He plays all sorts of, he is ending. I think today was the last episode of his Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess LP. Yes. He's done a bunch of just random Pokemon games, A lot of them were like ROM hacks and stuff, which is really interesting, stuff you don't really see anywhere else. And like you said, he's trying to expand into other projects.
Yeah, and I guess... Oh, sorry. Didn't mean
no, go ahead.
But
go ahead.
I also completely forgot. I guess I'm also getting my foot in the door with the whole making discussion videos because like Wannabe Reviewer said, we did a movie review on the first Pokemon movie. We plan to do the rest of them, hopefully, just depending on how time works out. I'm also trying to, review. I have a bunch of other projects that I just haven't edited yet, but yeah, I'm just, I'm moving. I'm still gonna do Let's Plays, but I'm also just gonna branch out just a tiny bit and do some more creative stuff. I guess I should say.
Yeah, I get what you mean, man. I've been trying to work on all sorts of stuff in the background too, and sometimes stuff doesn't work out, or you don't really know where to have the time for it. But I get you, man. I'm trying to expand and stuff too, so I get what you mean. So
yeah, with Twitch streaming, Mr. Wannabe Review.
Yeah, I haven't streamed since that one time I did it, 2 days in a row or whatever. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh man. But that aside, as always, I like to start my podcast off by talking about my week. So I don't know if you want to go first, talk about your week, or if I should go first. I mean, pick real quick. You are the guest.
Dang it. How about, you know what? Yeah, let's start with my week, because then, since my week is completely boring, you can liven it up by talking about your week. Let's see. Let's see. I did clinicals. I came home. I ate. I recorded, watched the direct. I guess the only thing major that I did is that my wife and I, she got me into watching Korean dramas because that's something that she loves watching. And I finally finished my first one. It's one that we started watching a few months ago on Netflix, and then Netflix for some reason decided to take it off. And
got
kind of, yeah. and then they brought it back randomly. And so I was like, hey, let's go ahead and finish this before Netflix decides to take it off again. It was called how it was called Oh My Ghost. And
okay, that's random.
I know. Bear with me, bear with me, because I was kind of thrown off too. But how do I even describe this? So there's this shy girl. She works in a restaurant. She has a crush on the chef. He's become, like kind of famous in the area for his restaurant. And and then later on, what happens in the show, or I guess not later on, but also in like the first episode still, we learn that that there's this ghost girl who's possessing people, and we learn her reason behind it is because in this universe, when you die, you become a ghost. But if you have any regrets before you die, you become a ghost. You don't go straight up to heaven or hell, I guess. But you have but you have 3 years to figure out what your regret is, or you become a demon.
Why 3?
Yeah, I know. I don't understand it myself, but it's just randomly you have 3 years to figure out what your regret is. But get this, it makes it even harder because you lose all your memory for some reason. That's also not explained. Yeah.
So the cards are just stacked against you.
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
And then, and she's coming up to her 3 years though, and all she can figure out is that when she died, she was a virgin, and she thinks that her regret was being a virgin, and so she's possessing people to try to just try to have
to do the nasty.
Yeah, to do the devil's tango, but she gets kicked out of their bodies pretty quickly because you need to their energy needs to mesh in order for her to stay in their body for a long period of time. And there's this shaman woman who's hunting her down because she keeps possessing people. And she's like, hey, you need to hurry up and ascend to heaven because you're going to become a demon, and that's bad. And so, she hops into the body of the main protagonist girl because, she's trying to evade her. And, since their energy's meshed so well, she's stuck in the body and she can't get out. And the chef girl, she's really shy. She's kind of mousy, she's basically a doormat. But the ghost, she's this loud, abrasive, charming girl. And so she goes back to work and everyone's wondering what the heck happened to her. And they come to a balance. Eventually they become aware of each other, and and they choose to help each other out because they want to do this win-win scenario where the chef girl lets the ghost possess her body to seduce the chef, and then the ghost can get what she wants. And also, since the chef girl likes the chef, that way it'll start hopefully a romance between the two. So it was pretty interesting. It does have some twists in it, which I do like. I don't want to spoil it though. I mean, I don't know if anyone listening is going to start watching it, but you should. I recommend it. It's a little off-putting if you don't watch Korean dramas that often, but it is pretty nice though. And then the second one that we started watching when Netflix took off Oh My Ghost is called, okay, get this, hear me out. It's called Boys Over Flowers.
Oh, and my sister watched that.
Oh, okay, cool. So are you familiar with it then?
Yeah. It's actually based on... That's what I was about to tell about the other one. I was about to tell you, that sounds like some anime right there. And because this one, Boys Over Flowers, it's actually based on a manga.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
why if they sound like live action anime, it's because they basically are.
Yeah, and I told my wife that because we're halfway done with Boys Over Flowers, and I was like, this is basically just anime.
It really is. It's live action anime, yeah.
Yeah, especially with the sound effects that they put in it and whatnot, and I did look it up. I was like, oh, it turns out this is based on a manga, and then she's like, oh wow, no way, no wonder it's like that because I don't know. Me and my wife are kind of rubbed off on each other now because I've got her into anime and she's got me into Korean dramas. So it's kind of nice. I plan to keep watching it. The main hurdle, though, for me was I'm not like a subbed person. You know, I'm a dubbed fan. So I don't know, comment section, you can hate me.
So you're not a man of culture. Get off my podcast.
I mean, have you not watched my videos? Clearly, I'm not a man of culture. but and Korean dramas, the best way to watch them is subbed, because if it's dubbed, then stuff doesn't match up well, and it's a very poor dub at that, especially since it's not animated, it's live action. You can obviously see when a character's words and their lips don't match up.
Yeah, it's more awkward.
Yeah, and I'm also a slow reader, so that's another reason why I don't like subbed. But I've kind of gotten used to the sub version of it, and who knows? Maybe I'll start watching sub anime. Who knows? We don't know yet.
Oh wow!
So that's pretty much all that I've been doing. Other than that, going to clinicals, which clinicals are one of the reasons why I haven't been able to do as much with my channel as I wanted to. Because the clinicals are 8 hours a day, well, actually 9 hours a day. And then, when I get home, and then I need to spend time with my lovely wife. We do stuff. Watching the Korean dramas takes up a lot of the time now. But luckily, I've been able to find time to record and do stuff, which is nice, because I was honestly concerned that I would have to, put my channel on hiatus, depending on how clinicals went. But so far, it's going pretty well. I do move, though, to a new location. I moved to a hospital at the end of September. So from October to December, I'll be in a hospital, which will have different hours. And my clinicals are automatically first shift. So depending on what the hospital hours are, maybe that'll give me some more time, because I know hospital hours are normally from 6 to 2 or something like that for first shift. So maybe that'll give me a little bit more time, because then I can get off from clinicals, record something before my wife gets home, because she gets off work at 5, and it'll be a little happy balance. But we'll have to wait and see.
Oh so, man, it sounds like you got a lot going on.
Yeah, it is a whole lot, but I don't know. I'm making it work though.
You're adulting.
Yes, I'm adulting.
Not like me, man.
All right, so that's pretty much the end of my week, though. I mean, like I said, I didn't do much other than watch Korean dramas, so which I would like to say that I'm addicted to.
Okay, so going over to my week, because I am not an adult the way Terrific is, I did a few things, actually. It always feels so awkward, because people are always like, how do you have so much time to do stuff? I don't know, I mean... I don't know, just it helps to not have many social connections and just spend a lot of time by yourself, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a lot of social connections either, so I'm definitely a loner.
Oh boy.
I'm a lot happier just sitting at home all the time. So don't get me wrong, if I wasn't married, I would completely be like Wannabe Reviewer. I would just watch anime all the time and just play video games. In fact, that's what I did before I got married. But apparently when you get married, your wife expects you to spend time with her. So I can't do that stuff as much anymore. So yeah. So what's been up with you, Mr. Wannabe? Tell me about all the anime that you've been watching.
Well, when it comes to anime, I've been watching everything that I've already talked about. All of them are in the middle, basically, of their seasons. There's a few that I talked about, this is because seasons are weird, right? Seasons are supposed to be 12 episodes, but there's some that are, let's say, 26 episodes or 24 episodes. So they kind of overlap over other seasons, you know what I mean? So there's a few that they are coming up towards the end. I'll probably give a little summary of my impressions of those, in a few weeks. But right now, there's nothing new, there's nothing, I guess I'm kind of stumbling upon words. What I'm trying to say is there's nothing that's, ending right now that I can talk about. Everything's still kind of ongoing. So what I did is I tried watching a new series so I could talk about a new series, you know, because there's nothing to talk about in the meantime. However, unfortunately, I didn't get as far as I wanted. I only ended up watching the first episode of it. But it's this anime series called Haven't You Heard? I'm Sakamoto. And I don't know if you've heard of it. I mean, I'm thinking maybe not. Right?
No,
did you hear about it? Okay.
But I mean, the title sounds pretty interesting, though.
Yeah. I think this came out, I want to say like 2 or 3 seasons ago. I mean, I know it's like fairly recent. Basically, it's about this guy that he is the most like suave, cool individual ever. And like, you know, girls are swooning after him. Guys are jealous of him. And like the comedy, it's like a comedy show. The comedy comes from people hoping that he fails or people trying to set him up to fail, and how he basically like just never fails. Like he always ends up looking cool. And like I said, I only watched an episode of it, so I don't know if it gets old like quickly. I mean, I think that was a comment I saw from some people. But I thought like the first episode was pretty good. You know, it's pretty funny. Basically, the reason I wanted to watch it, I had seen some clips of like other stuff where they're trying to set him up to fail, and he just like he always finds a way to just look cool. Like I know there was like a situation. I don't remember. I don't know what episode it might be. I know it was just like a random clip, but it's basically he goes to like a video store and he wants to like rent some like adult videos. And, like, some of his peers are watching him, and they know that he's underage. And the guy checking him out also knows that he's underage. And so they want to get him, like, they want him to be, like, nervous, or, like, they want to catch him in his lie. But he's so suave, and he's so cool, that he's not letting the lie stop him. Like, he's acting like he's where he needs to be. So not only, he doesn't get one video, he gets, like, a stack of them.
Oh my god.
And everyone's like, how is he gonna get away with this? And like the shopkeeper's trying to tell him like, there's no way you're like 18 or whatever. He's like, no, really I am. He pulls out like an ID that like I don't remember if it looks like him or not. But the point is that the shopkeeper's like, really, this is you? And he's like, yeah, I just look young for my age, you know, thank you, whatever. He takes it as like a compliment. And then he says, you know, like, oh, you know, can you please hurry it up? I have like a meeting to go to or whatever. And supposedly he checks his watch. But it's just a drawn-on watch. But he's like so confident and like acting like he has a watch that he fools people into thinking that he really is checking his watch. Like it's hard to explain, but like he just gives off this aura where he's just like so confident. He tricks people like into his lies and stuff. So, I don't know. I just watched an episode of it. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to get old later on. But from what I saw, it was just... From what I saw of the first episode, and from what I've seen of, like, different clips, like, it's really funny just seeing this character that, like, refuses to, like, lose confidence. And he just, like, gets away with, like, everything because he just, like... He draws people into his lies and stuff. It's just really funny.
Yeah, that definitely does sound very interesting. And just, like, I don't know, because... How do I put it? Because I feel like his character type, you know, the guy that can never fail and whatnot, I feel like it has been like in other like media and whatnot, you know, but I feel like normally when it's done, it's used as like a type of like a foil to the main protagonist does. Like how do I put it?
I mean, I kind of get what you mean. Like there's been an anime or something I'd say where it's someone who's like very... Like, they're the opposite. They're just kind of like a disaster, and they're kind of like antisocial. And so even though you're following their journey of trying to like not be like that, there's always that character like in the background who's just so cool and stuff.
Yeah. And so I feel like making it like the main protagonist and then like having everyone aware that he's just like full of crap basically, but he still gets away with it. I think that's pretty interesting. I feel like it definitely is. And maybe a certain rabbit man should make a spoiler-free review on it. Like who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, you know, if he manages to finish it and he thinks, you know, that's worth talking about, then yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So how many episodes is it?
I believe it was 13, I want to say.
Oh yeah, it's not even bad. Yeah,
it's one of those short ones. It's either 12 or 13. I'm pretty sure it's 13. I know it's on stuff like... Actually, is it on Crunchyroll? I actually don't remember. But I know that there is like a sub and a dub. You know, you can look for it out there. Because some of the clips I had seen were actually dubbed, and I thought they were pretty fine. So I know you're a dub guy, so if you want to look up the dub for it, you know, that is available. But like I said, I just thought it's a fun series so far. So hopefully I continue to enjoy it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a good thing about Japanese anime or Korean dramas versus like American stuff, because and my wife brings it up too, is that like over there, like they don't really have a problem just making a popular series just stay at one season, and the season is like 10 or 13 episodes, like, and they're fine with that. But over here they like, you know, we like to drag things out, you know, make money and all that fun stuff. And so I feel like it makes it really easy to just like jump into like an anime or a Korean drama when you know that like even though the Korean dramas are like an hour long a piece, there's only some of them are only like 10 episodes, like, so it's not that much of a commitment that you have to make to try it out. And the same can be said for like certain anime too. Like you do have the anime like Dragon Ball Z or Fairy Tail is an example that does go into the 500s for episodes. But you know, I feel like, I don't know, a good chunk of them do just stop at 1 or 2 seasons, and it makes it easy to jump into just to try it out.
Yeah, and it's funny because it actually kind of connects to the next thing I was going to talk about. Like you inadvertently kind of touched upon it. But nice. Something else that I did this week, because I think it came out on on Labor Day. I'm not too sure. I mean, I get my stuff online from different sources. But I watched the Steven Universe movie. Are you familiar with this show at all? You know, Steven Universe?
I need to catch up with Steven Universe. Like, I'm way behind because, again, adulting. But yeah, I don't mind the show. I like it. I'm glad that they picked,
and that's what I was going to say, that I like that it ties into what you were saying, that Steven Universe, I think it's a pretty good show. I think, you know, it has, you know, definitely some good stuff there. The creator, Rebecca Sugar, you can tell as she wears her inspirations on her sleeve, you know, she's definitely inspired by stuff like, you know, anime. You can tell because of like the show and some plot points and stuff. However, the issue with it, which, you know, kind of what you had said earlier, Steven Universe is one of those shows that has suffered with like its release. Because, you know, like an anime is awesome because you know, if you're gonna watch a season, you know that if it's gonna be 12 episodes, you know that for the next 12 weeks you're gonna have an episode to watch. Steven Universe, on the other hand, Cartoon Network has handled it so badly where it'll be like you know, I think season 1 and like maybe even 2 were like okay. I think they had like a more normal release. But I know after that, it was like you would have like 4 months without a new episode. Then you would have like a week where they would show like an episode every day.
Yep, every day. Yep.
And then like another 5 months without hearing about it. And then, you know, suddenly you get like an episode or two. And it's just all over the place. And I know that kind of ruined the momentum of the show too for some people. Especially when there's like so-called filler content. Because, it's hard to keep up with it when it just takes forever to come out. When it finally comes out, sometimes it's stuff that doesn't even have to do with the plot. But that aside, though, you know, it's like a whole other thing.
What's up?
What were you going to say? Sorry.
It was going to be about Steven Universe and Cartoon Network as a whole. Just from what I've noticed in, like, different videos that I've watched. And Cartoon Network, they don't know how to handle... I don't even want to say like popular shows, just like shows in general, like, because they'll just like randomly take a show is seemingly doing well and just either give it garbage time slots or like you said, release it, you know, like, oh, we're going to release a new episode every single week and then 6 months of nothing. And it's just like, they just focus on like basically all Cartoon Network is nowadays, like for America, is just Teen Titans Go. And like a video that I watched about like why Cartoon Network is failing talks about how outside America, Cartoon Network is like actually showing like different, actually, you know, utilizing their different, shows and whatnot and give them appropriate time slots and, you know, how do I want to put it? Just actually airing the episodes. But over here, all you really see is Teen Titans Go, and then randomly they'll just give you a bunch of new episodes of another series, and then they just stop, and then they focus on Teen Titans Go.
The whole thing is so awkward, man. Like I said, that's kind of part of what made the whole Steven universe and like stuff like Adventure Time when it ended. It was really awkward, and it's just a whole weird thing. But getting back to the movie, it is kind of weird. I mean, because I know you know about the show, but I don't want to spoil it, so it is kind of weird to talk about. But I guess I guess the way I'll explain it, it does take place, like, it's been 2 years when the movie starts. There has been a bit of a time skip, and things have changed in, like, the Steven universe. Basically, they have connections with, like, the diamonds, which are, like, like the aliens or whatever. They have more of a connection with them. There's more of, like, a peace between Earth and, the aliens. And basically what the movie's about, at the beginning of the movie, Steven and all his friends, they're happy because it seems like peace has been achieved. Everything has been chill for like 2 years. But then a new enemy arrives, and it's this enemy that she's mad because of something that Steven's mom did. Because I think, honestly, the real villain of the whole series is Steven's mom. She just screwed everything up. He has to clean up her mistakes. And I'm not going to get too far into it, But basically, he has to clean up another mess. And I like the movie. I thought it was really good. I think if you like the series, it's definitely a love letter to the show. You get like lots of good moments with like the characters. You get more moments of like, I don't know, like going over like their backstories again, and them kind of like, I guess I would explain it. Everything kind of gets reset due to the enemy, so they kind of have to bring everybody back to where they were at the beginning of the movie. So seeing them kind of build themselves back up to who they were, like that was pretty cool. Lots of music. If you love the music of the show, they're definitely showing off a lot of music, so that was pretty cool. And the biggest thing I liked was the villain. I think the villain is really interesting. Like her reason for being mad, it's a really good reason. So I thought she was like a really good, like, sympathetic villain. And her whole style is really cool. Like, I don't know if you've seen any like pictures of what the villain looks like. Okay, yeah, basically, like, Cuphead, like those cartoons from like the 30s and 40s. That's like her whole aesthetic. Like, she has like the rubber, like the spaghetti doodle arms, and when she like moves and stuff, she has like the little bobbing animations and stuff. Like, she's a really fun villain. I thought she was really cool.
Funny. So is this movie, because back when I left off, when I stopped watching Steven Universe, it's when they like just got to like home. Well, probably shouldn't spoil it. Well, they finally meet up with with White Diamond. They finally met up with her, and that's like why I didn't have time to keep watching it. So I know that Steven Universe was like coming to an end. So does this movie like definitively end it? Like, is this?
That's
or do you
the
think
weird.
They're setting it up for another series.
The weird thing that I had heard, that supposedly they're like, no, season 5 isn't the end of the series. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, because season 5 ends in a way where it looks like it could be the end. But I had heard like, no, it's not supposed to be the end. But then they kind of pushed that to the side, and they were like focused on the movie or whatever. The movie ends in a way where, once again, it seems pretty like definitive. But at the same time, I guess I could see them do more if they wanted to.
Yeah.
It's weird, because I've heard supposedly it's not the end of the series. Like, they're going to do more. And like, I guess they really could do more. But at the same time, they have done a good job of like, season 5 looks like that could have been the end of it. The movie looks like it could be the end of it. So I think they've done it in a good way, where if they want to end at any point, they can. But if they want to add more, then I think they have room to like put more. So.
Yeah. See, my whole thing is that, yes, it sucks when like a good show ends, but sometimes it's better for a good show to end than for it to be dragged out into becoming garbage. Like, and I feel like that's the problem, is that, I don't know, man, like, whether you want to blame the fans or blame the producers or blame the network or whatever, I don't know who's to blame for it, but shows just keep dragging on. Like, even when they can completely end and leave it like, close the book, and and that way the creators of the show can move on to something good and show their talents elsewhere.
I know that's what surprised a lot of people about Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
Because Gravity Falls, like, a lot of people loved it. I mean, I really like that show. I think it's a very well-made show. But yeah, the creator literally said, like, oh, it's just going to be these 2 seasons. And people were like, really? Like, that's it? He's like, yeah. A lot of people even go, oh, man, it sucks that this show got canceled, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, it didn't get canceled. This is literally what the creator wanted to make. Like, he wanted it to have its beginning and end. Because like you said, he didn't want it to drag on, so...
Yeah, and I feel like you need to find that happy balance between the two. Like, if you're gonna continue a series on, you even after you've wrapped up the main like plot, you need, if you're gonna bring, like continue it, you need to find a good reason to do it. Like, not just lazily just throw something together, or else it's not gonna be good, And I'm trying to think of a good example of this. I don't know. Maybe you can think of one better than I can.
A show that does this?
Right now. Yeah, of a show that does this. That where everything like ends perfectly, but then like they continue the series on, and it's just like lazily like just thrown together just to ride the coattails of the success of like the first season or...
It's funny because I feel like usually I would have like 1,000 examples, and right now I can't think of anything.
yeah, insane.
But I know what you mean, though. I definitely know what you mean, but at the moment, I'll admit I can't think of anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I can't think of anything, but I think everyone knows what you're saying. Don't worry. I think everyone gets what you're saying.
Yeah, you guys get it, but I don't know, and it's just frustrating because then the show's just ruined. And I don't know. I'm getting all worked up about it.
I know, I can hear you like getting stressed out. It's like, it's okay, man. Chill. All right, we're gonna move away from that topic, so you like chill, right? So I'm gonna transfer over to video games I played now, so you have some time to like not freak out. All right, so transferring over to something else, so Terrific doesn't just blow a fuse over here. Last week I had said I was waiting for my copy of Astral Chain. And sure enough, not that long after I put out the podcast or as I was editing it, whatever, my copy finally arrived in the mail. And so I've been playing Astral Chain here and there. And I'm really enjoying it. I think it's really cool. If anyone's ever played a Platinum game, I mean, I basically described Platinum games perfectly in my video about like 7 games that should come to the Switch when I talked about Wonderful 101. Platinum games are awesome because they always have like mechanics that, they're hard to master. Like, you really have to play to get better at it. They always have like stylish moves where like they rank you at the end, so you like want to get better. They always have like escalating storylines where like where you start, sometimes you're like on level 2. Like in this game, for instance, where you're at level 2, there's some games that's what the final boss would be, I feel. Like, these games, they always escalate so much, so, like, at the end, it's always, like, the hypest thing ever. And besides that, I just really enjoy... I don't know, like, the whole aesthetic so far is just really cool. For anyone who doesn't know, I kind of briefly talked about it last week. Astral Chain, once again, it's a game by Platinum Games. They're the ones who have made, like, the Bayonetta series. They're the ones who have made... Wonderful 101, they're the ones who made Nier Automata, stuff like that. Their games are always like character action games where it's all about like doing combos and fighting like hordes of enemies all at once, and you're trying to be stylish and get good rankings. And this one, the whole premise of this game is that you're like a future cop in some sort of like a future society with like a bunch of tech. They found a way to there's these monsters that you're fighting, and they're called chimeras. And basically, they have found a way to turn some of the chimeras into allies. And so connected, between the player character and the different chimeras, there's like this chain connecting them. And basically, you use them like a stand in like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like, other people can't even see them. They literally see you do things. They're like, how the hell did you do that? To them, like, the stands don't exist. And you're using them to do all sorts of crazy moves and combos and fighting monsters. And I really like it. I think it's really cool. It definitely has, like, a very anime story, which for some people, I mean, people who aren't into anime, they might think it's dumb. But because I'm into anime, I love it. I love all the goofiness, Like, I posted on Twitter, for anyone who follows me on Twitter, I posted a few pictures where one of them is my player character dressed up as like this big mascot dog, and they're just like doing all sorts of stuff around the police station. Like that's what kind of game this is. Like sometimes it'll be super serious, you're fighting monsters, you're trying to save people because they're gonna die, and then in your off time you're dressed like a stupid dog and you're running around doing dumb anime things, like that's what this game is like, but I'm enjoying it so far.
The game's not taking itself too seriously then.
No, definitely not. It has all sorts of goofy stuff to it, but I'm enjoying the game so far. I think it's really fun. If you like platinum games, if you like character action games, I think you'll love this. And I don't really know what else to say. I just think it's a really fun game. I'm enjoying it. I think I've heard there's like 11 chapters right now. I was ending I think I was like about to start chapter 6, I think. And I've enjoyed my time with it so far. I think it's really good. I really want to get better at it because I am, I do get like kind of bad rankings in the fightings and stuff, like D's and C's. I definitely want to get those S's and A's, but I'm still enjoying it. Like I want to get better at it. I want to get as much out of it as I can. So.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. I guess, let's see, video game wise for me, the only like really new thing that I played is Fire Emblem Three Houses, which by this point is old news, but I'm still having fun with it. I haven't played it in a few weeks just because I've been so busy and whatnot, but part of me wanted to also like put it on my channel, but then that didn't work out, and so that also made me a little bit upset. So, but I don't know, I'm still having fun like making my own way through it and just taking my own time with it. And I don't know, Fire Emblem for me is just one of those things where I've only played 2 of the games, Emblem Awakening and then this one, Three Houses, but I don't know, like I'm just hooked. Like just playing Fire Emblem Awakening was enough for me to just like want to keep following the series. And no, hold up, I did play another Fire Emblem game. I forgot what it was, but Hyrule Warriors, where like it's like Legend of Zelda, but they bring in all the characters together. Yeah. I guess they made one of those for Fire Emblem 2. And
it's called like Fire Emblem Heroes or something like that, right?
Yeah. Fire Emblem Heroes.
The last guest I had on, Slim from over at the Galactic Happy Hour, he was talking about that game. He says that he really loved that game.
Yeah, I also enjoyed it. From when I played it, it was like years ago, so I barely remember anything now. But I don't know. I like how it just switched up it switched up what I was used to with Fire Emblem. I don't know if other Fire Emblem games have done the same thing or not, but
I mean, from what I've heard, people have said that this one definitely switched things up. Like they definitely added a lot and a lot of the social things and everything. I've heard a lot of people say that they definitely switched it up with this one.
Yeah, because Awakening, that one was like turn based, and you move each character on the tile, and they each have a range for when they can attack. But this one was more of like, I would compare it to like what you were saying earlier, where like you can make not with style though, like you can just make different combos, and seeing the combos are pretty cool though, and you do like get extra. I think you get extra rewards for like how many combos you did. And I don't know, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. It was also like a nice little breath of fresh air for the franchise. Although I'm probably not the person to speak on that, since I've only played 3 games. But take it. But still,
I mean, hearing more proof of people say they're enjoying it, like that's cool. I think that definitely says something about the game, that so many people are enjoying it. Whether they're veterans or it's someone like you that's not that used to it, the fact that everyone seems to be enjoying it, like I think that's a good thing, I would definitely be interested in playing at some point,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, of course I'm a filthy casual though when it comes to Fire Emblem, because I definitely do not play on like how the game is meant to be played, where like if you lose, if a character like dies, they die for real. Like no, I play on casual mode.
Oh.
So if they die, they just get knocked out for the battle. So,
oh wow.
Yes, I know. I lose a little street cred on that, but it's okay.
Ooh, exposed on stream, man. Okay.
So.
Like one last thing I want to talk about, actually.
Yes.
Hold on, let me check the recording. I think
we're at like 45 minutes.
40 minutes in. Like
40?
about 40. Yeah, I was gonna say no. I want to check the recording because it looked like it had like paused for some reason. I was worried about that. I don't know if we just lost a little bit of footage right there. If we lost a little bit of footage, it was only like a few seconds, folks. Don't worry. The last thing I want to talk about, which is kind of a good lead-in into the news that we're gonna talk about. The last thing I did is that I played a bit of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate because Banjo and Kazooie dropped yesterday, so I tried them out, and I really like Banjo and Kazooie, actually. I don't really like their level. I think their level is like too simple, honestly. Because it's just like a thing that rotates and you can see the world of Banjo and Kazooie, you know, in the background. I wasn't too impressed with the level, but I did really like the music, and I did like playing as Banjo and Kazooie. Like, I don't know, it just feels really good. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not like much of like a fighting game, you know, enthusiast who can like tell you about like hit frames and moves and stuff, but like to me it just felt good using Banjo and Kazooie. They felt very like fast to me. I think using like the side B where Banjo just uses Kazooie like a club, that move felt very strong to me, so I like really enjoyed it. So I'm enjoying Banjo and Kazooie, you know. I really like them, so you know, there you go.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, and honestly, I'm not much of a Smash player. I mean, I was, but now that, because for me, I don't really like have fun playing Smash by myself, and I don't really have anyone to play it with, so I haven't bought Smash Ultimate. But just what all they're doing with it, like what all they're doing with Smash Ultimate is just breathtaking. Like they keep adding new characters, like seemingly like every few months, and it just does make you wonder, like, how are they going to follow this up? You know,
I don't know.
Or is this going to be the last? Because I can see what's going to happen is because I've also heard rumors that this is going to be like the last one, but I can't see it. Like I feel like Smash is too popular for this to be the end. I just feel like they're going to adapt this format and just keep using it. So like maybe in like 5 years or so, we're going to get a Smash Ultimate 2 or whatever they're going to call it. And they're just going to do the exact same thing where they have like a huge range of characters and they keep adding on to it.
Because
I feel like that's what the future will be.
What I had heard some people say that they could do, which isn't even totally like a bad idea. Some people had said, you know, they could just make it like not. It's that, you know, it's usually with some games it does sound kind of crappy, but I think like the term is like game as a service or whatever, where they just keep updating the games and adding like DLC and stuff you can pay for over time.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think I had heard. Like people had said, like, yeah, and that actually kind of goes into the news, so we'll go into the news like in a moment. But yeah, people had said, you know, they could just keep adding characters over time, you know, slowly, and this could be like the Smash, you know? Like there wouldn't even be a need for another one because it's just, you have everything here already. Just add more levels, add more characters and stuff. So, but yeah, with that being said, let's transfer over to the news because like I said, some of the stuff we're talking about kind of overlaps with the news. So, of course, you know, I only have one news story this week that I want to talk about. That was the Nintendo Direct. And you said you did watch the Direct, right?
What Direct?
The Nintendo Direct.
Wait, that happened?
Shut up! I know you watched it. I asked you like earlier. Oh my god!
I watched it.
Okay, so basically, just like like a one sentence thing. What did you think of it? That's it.
Let's
just
see.
Oh, I thought that was your impression. I thought
No. They definitely did. I need to do this in one sense. They did a lot. I think it's nice that they are also that Nintendo is still doing with the whole third party thing and how they're putting, you know, more games on the Switch. That's not just Nintendo. I definitely want to see more of that. I want to see Sims on the Switch at some point. I think it's dumb that hasn't. That's a whole other discussion, but no, they did really well. I think they did pretty well for putting out news and just getting people hyped up for the games that's going to be coming out this year and in 2020.
All right, that was a little long, but I like it. For me, I'm going to stick to the rules and I'm going to make it one sentence. I thought it almost felt like a second E3, and I was really hyped for a lot of the stuff they talked about.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go down the list of stuff, and, if you want, you can comment on it. If not, we'll just,
I have my one thing that I really want to comment on.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I just have like the whole list right here. Actually, I'm going to link that in the description below. Basically, it's the list of like everything they talked about. So they opened up by talking about Overwatch on Switch. I thought that was cool. I'm not an Overwatch person, but I think that's pretty fun. They talked a little bit more about Luigi's Mansion 3. I thought that looked pretty cool. I continue to be excited for the game.
Oh, yes. I can't wait to see the fan art for Gooigi.
Oh, I know, right? I mean, it's already out there, man. It's already out there. Kirby, Super Kirby Clash. That was interesting. It's a free-to-start game. It kind of looks almost like, I don't know, I don't want to say Monster Hunter, but it reminds me of something of that style, because it's just a bunch of little Kirbys with different classes hunting enemies. So it looks interesting. I think it's already out. I haven't downloaded it yet, but I'll probably download it at some point, try it out. It seems interesting. They talked about Trials of Mana HD Remake. Honestly, I've never really played too much of Trials of Mana, but I've heard they're good. I heard that there was some people who were excited, so that's nice. This was an interesting one. They talked about a port of Return of the Obra Dinn, which is this like black and white game where I think you're like on some ship and you're like investigating like some sort of, I don't know if like murder, or you're trying to figure out like what happened in the past, something like that.
No. When I saw that, I want to say that you did a review on that.
No,
because it started. No. Well, I watched someone do a review on it, and
I think it was Mr. Panda.
No,
it wouldn't have been, because Mr. Panda only covers Switch games, and this is the first time it comes to Switch.
Yeah. I have no idea what video I watched on it, though.
I miss Mr. Panda, dude. Dude, just real quick, shout out. Yeah. I miss Mr. Panda. I think he like quit YouTube. I haven't seen him on in a while.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that aside, it's really awkward. That aside, Return of the Obra Dinn. I saw that it's done pretty good on Steam. So seeing it come to like the Switch, that's pretty cool. That makes me happy. Yeah. They talked about Little Town Hero, which is like the new project by Game Freak, who does Pokemon. I thought that looked really. I thought it looked interesting. I thought it's really cool that Toby Fox, who does the music for like Undertale, who created Undertale, he's doing the music for this game. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, they announced that, of course, Banjo and Kazooie were out, on the 4th, that same day. And then they talked about the next character who's coming to Smash, which is Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's really hype, actually. I think Terry Bogard, I know a lot of people are disappointed. A lot of people are like, oh, who cares about another fighting character, this and that. But I think that's really cool because SNK, they're a company that deserves some representation. They've made Metal Slug, they made Kingdom Fighters, they've made Fatal Fury, they've made all sorts of games. So seeing them get the representation in Smash, I think that's really cool. And I know that stuff like Fatal Fury is really popular, in Latin America and stuff. So, even if you don't like it, that's for those people. So, I think that's really cool. I thought that was...
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I feel like the people who say that, I feel like they need to get a bit more perspective because they're probably the same people who...
Are you okay back there? I'm gonna hear a bunch of noise back there.
Yes, no, that was my lovely wife. Even though I told her that I was going to be recording, she opened up the door. But, what was I saying? But I feel like the people who say that, they need to get a bit more perspective because not every character in Smash is going to be for everyone. For me, I'm not really. I'll be honest, I've never even heard of Banjo Kazooie. So the fact that yes, I know you can hate me if you want, but I don't know, but I'm not gonna have the attitude of oh no, they need to stop putting in things like Banjo Kazooie and put in more Pokemon. No, that's stupid.
Yeah, that's how I feel about King K. Rool, for instance. I honestly didn't think there was that many people that wanted him in. But when I saw how hyped people got about it, I was like, hey, that's cool. And, why would I not for Donkey Kong's villain to be in the game, even if I don't play the character or really like him, Like, I can still appreciate what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm glad Terry Bogard is going to get in. I think that's really awesome. I think the little trailer for how they announced him was like really funny too, with all the other characters trying to pick up the invitation and everyone keeps missing until he gets it. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
And not only that, but at the end, because you know how like this fighter pass is supposed to have 5 people and this is like fighter number 4? I like how they said, oh, by the way, there's going to be more fighters after these 5.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really exciting.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that? Do you think
like what do you mean, like prediction wise, or
kind of
overall opinion?
Kind of prediction, I guess, because what I'm thinking they're gonna do, hear me out. I think that this first fighter pass was all about getting that representation from other companies. You know, that's what we got. You know, we got our Atlas through Joker. We got, we got Dragon Quest because that's something they've probably been wanting for a while. They got Banjo-Kazooie, you know, that Microsoft relationship with Rare. They got Terry Bogard, you know, represent SNK. I'm thinking the characters after this pass, I think they might, that might be where they bring in some of those indie characters. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm sorry you said that, and I thought of like Cuphead. Like just saying Cuphead and Smash.
That would be really cool. The only bad thing is that once again it's kind of like a Microsoft sort of thing, and we already got Banjo, so I don't know what the chance of Cuphead is. But that would be really cool. Like what I'm hoping for, and I know like I keep saying this, I keep hoping, I don't know, I mean she's already a sticker in the game. I'm hoping they add Shantae. Like that's my like wish. A little genie girl that dances, transforms into different creatures. Because she has a new game coming up, like at the end of this year. So I think it would make so much sense for her to like have her new game, and then now that they have like all like the big companies represented, Shantae has a relationship with Nintendo. She dates back to the Game Boy Color. And since then, she's been on the Game Boy Color, the DSi, the Wii, the Wii U, the Switch. Oh, wow. So it'd be cool if they added her in, I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. I think that'd be awesome, but it remains to be seen, obviously.
I mean, hey, you never know, man. I mean, because what was it? People started predicting like Banjo and Smash because
I predicted it. I predicted it. Yeah. I was so happy because people in my prediction video, people were telling me I was crazy. They're like, "Oh, he says he wants to keep it realistic, but he mentions Banjo-Kazooie," and I'm like, "It could happen. Microsoft has a good relationship with Nintendo, and everyone called me crazy, and now it happens. So ha."
Well, now we know that Wannabe Reviewer likes to gloat. He's a sore winner.
Not really. I'm just happy.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know. Because like, he was getting a new game coming out soon, or like a remaster or something. I know that much. And people just like thought that it would be in Smash, and like, I guess other things like teased it. And so, I mean, hey, you never know. Maybe your Genie Girl will be in Smash.
Maybe, man. Maybe. Continuing with the news, and then right now there's going to be some more news stories that have to do with my predictions. Those are going to be fun, but going back to the news, they showed more Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening footage. They talked about the amiibos. I'm excited for that game. I want to play that game. Link's Awakening, honestly, it's one of my favorite Zelda games. It's definitely my favorite from the 2D titles. It might be like my second or third favorite overall. Really love that game. They talked about Dragon Quest XI. They talked about there being a definitive edition. I mean, that's pretty fun. This is where more of my prediction stuff comes into play. They talked about Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore, which for anyone who watched my video about 7 games that should come to the Switch, that was I want to say 2 weeks ago, something like that. I said they should bring this game to the Switch. Sure enough, it's coming to Switch.
I mean, you know what? Maybe you need to start doing theory videos.
Right? Maybe I should. But I am becoming too powerful, Shurific. I am afraid of my own power. I predicted Banjo. I predicted this. I predicted that they're gonna bring some Sega properties back, which they did. I don't know, maybe more of my Smash predictions might come true. We don't know yet. But yeah, I was really happy to see that because it's one of those games that's really fun. It's like a mix of Persona and Fire Emblem, and it's like its own thing at the same time. And it sucks that it came out on the Wii U because the Wii U, nothing got attention on that console the way it deserved. So seeing that they're gonna make this like definitive edition that's gonna add some stuff in it, and stuff like that's really fun. Like I definitely want to play that, and I hope other people do too. So. After that, this one was also a surprise, but it made me really happy. They announced Deadly Premonition 2 and the original Deadly Premonition out now. Do you know anything about Deadly Premonition?
You know what? I'm going to get more hate for this, but I do not.
Okay, you're not going to get as much hate as you think, because it is a pretty niche title. But basically, I've talked about it. I think I just talked about it like last week or the week before. That, I really love the Deadly Premonition game. Like, it has the world record for like most mixed reception for like a video game or something like that. Because some people absolutely love it, and some people absolutely hate it. And the reason for that, it's because the creator, he makes games that are like very quirky and weird. And so this game is like a weird, quirky, sometimes broken video game version of Twin Peaks. Have you ever seen that show? But Twin Peaks is a weird show too, and this is even weirder than that. So that says something. But basically, what makes me so happy, not only do I really like the game, but they're gonna make a sequel that looked like it would never happen because I know there was like some sort of an issue with like who owns like the rights to the game.
Yeah.
So that's why it was so surprising to hear that, holy crap, they're going to have a sequel. So I'm excited for that. I feel like I'm probably like one of like the only people I know who are excited for it, but there you go.
That's funny.
They talked about Divinity Original Sin 2. They talked about Doom 64. They talked about a game called Rogue Company. All of them, they look like they have their audience. They look pretty cool. They had some news about about Pokemon Sword and Shield. That was interesting.
Yes, it was.
I think that little Pole T-Geist or whatever, I like it. I think it looks cute. It's like a little teapot ghost. I think it's awesome looking.
Yeah, and this is where I wanted to make a few comments because I don't want to hear anybody complain about Poltergeist. I don't want to hear anybody say, "Oh, Nintendo is unoriginal. They made a teapot." Or no, I don't want to hear that anymore because everyone gave Generation 5 Pokemon Black and White. Everyone gave that game so much crap because they made Trubbish, which is a trash bag. What was it? Litwick, which was a candle. And then Gen 6, they gave Klefki a lot of crap because it's a keychain. So, listen. Nintendo does this. There's always a Pokemon or two from a generation that are based on inanimate objects. So we can just stop that whole debate. We can stop that whole frustration. I don't want to hear any more discussion about it. Because it's a thing. Literally, it says that the Pokemon is made of tea. Come on. You guys need to chill out.
Yeah, I feel like people need to take the nostalgia goggles off. Even Gen 1 has a lot of really boring and dumb designs.
Yeah.
Voltorb is literally just a Pokeball looking thing. Farfetch is a dumb bird with a stick. Weezing is just like a pink. Well, I mean, Weezing's okay, I guess. Or Grimer, it's just the blob that's toxic.
Sludge. Yeah.
And then honestly, a lot of people love the first gen. I think a lot of them are boring. I think Arcanine is really boring. It's just the dog.
It was just when Nintendo was back in those earlier generations, they made a lot of Pokemon based off of real animals, and which is why some of them do look boring, like Doduo. It's just it's just a bird without it's basically just an ostrich.
Yeah, with 2 heads, 3 heads. Yeah.
With 2 heads. Yeah. So they were just doing, just more animal-like things, and they decided to branch out in the newer generations and start making things out of objects now, which is why we have, or Vanillite, which is like based off of ice cream. So yeah, so I don't know. People need to calm down. Like every Pokemon isn't gonna be a winner, and I, I don't know. People need to chill.
I don't know, but like, even if they're not winners, there's some that I just like because they're weird. Like, I like the Teapot Ghost. I think it looks cool. It's a Teapot Ghost. Like, that's a cool concept. I like that stupid cake Pokemon they just introduced. I think it looks kind of cute. Hey, what's another Pokemon that's like weird that I like? One of my favorites. I love that little like pumpkin one. Gorgeist or something like that. Pumpkaboo turns into Gorgeist or whatever. Yeah. I really like that Pokemon. I think it looks cute. It's like a little haunted pumpkin. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, like it's just a jack-o'-lantern with a ghost in it. Like I don't know. And that's the thing, is that like they don't have to be these like unique, like they don't have to use dragons for everything or these like folklore. It's nice when they do that, but sometimes it's nice just to see like an everyday object just in the Pokemon world. Like, I don't know. It's just nice to just see those weird random things that can be a Pokemon. Like, I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Another
thing I liked. What did you think about all the customization options they're adding? I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I think it's nice. I mean, I'm not that surprised because I figured that like as the games went on, they would add more and more customization. So
it makes sense.
You can make whole outfits, which is kind of cool. Like you can put on gloves now and like do like outerwear and innerwear, which is kind of nice.
I felt really bad about though.
Cool. What?
The girls always have so much better options than the boys, though.
Yeah.
Like, I barely even played Pokemon Sun. No, I mean, Pokemon Moon. I didn't even finish it. But when I started it, I picked the girl because she has a little chicken hat. That's so cool. Like, looks like a little waddle or whatever. And this generation, I'm probably going to pick the girl again because she's like this awesome looking, like, Scottish trainer, all the memes and stuff. I'm probably going to pick the girl again. It's like, I'm sorry, but like the boy characters are kind of boring.
Yeah, and like I remember back when I played X and Y, because that's when they first introduced customization, and I was like, oh, is this it? Like, this isn't even like that much to do. And then I found out that like girls have like they have so many more options than the guys do. And it's like, come on, like I want to be fashionable. Let me make a whole new look for myself,
I mean, that's kind of the way it works in real life too, man. We don't really have much options as guys, Yeah, I mean, unless you're a JoJo character. JoJo characters, they're out there with their fashion, man. I wish I could pull that crap off, but in real life, unless you're like a JoJo character, I mean, you just gotta wear like t-shirts or like a polo or whatever, and that's all you get, while girls have all sorts of outfits. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Just going off, I'm going to rant about I'm mad about fashion. But yeah, besides that, they talked about the customization. They talked about the new Pokemon, a few. They were okay.
Yes, and I will say this. My new favorite of Gen 8 is, I forgot what its name is, but it's the bird, the water flying type that when you use surf or dive, it comes back up with the fish.
Yeah, you launch the fish. It's so stupid. I love it.
Yeah, like it's so dumb, but for some reason I can see it being a thing. Like
it looks so goofy. I love it.
Yeah, and like how it's just standing there with literally a whole fish hanging out of its mouth. Then it gets attacked and just spits the fish out. It's like, oh my freaking gosh, what is this?
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So. Yeah.
Oh, and they talked about that weird curry mechanic, which that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, I just compare that to like the Poffins and the Pokeblocks. I mean, it's kind of cool that there's like 100 different types, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like my main takeaway from that was the Pokemon camp and how you can like go to other people's camps.
Well, what's the thing about the Pokemon camp though? That's just a better version of the secret bases from Gen 3.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
So a lot of stuff isn't necessarily new. It's just like redone in a better way.
Did it better.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's fine. I mean, you can expect that with a game franchise that continues to progress and evolve. They're going to take some old concepts and do them in a new way. So,
yeah. All right. So I think that's all for Pokemon stuff. Anything you want to add before we move on?
No, I think that's it.
I guess just real quick, are you gonna buy the game when it comes out?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, me too.
And
I know it's had a
the
lot of
people,
controversy. I'm excited to play it. And when everyone is
yeah,
like, "Oh my god, you're really telling me they took out the Pokédex, the national decks for like these giant transformations? Like, who wants that?" Like, I raise my hand.
yeah.
I do. I don't care.
Yeah, and I mean, and let's be real, like you can still bring over, like, cause me, I'm complete, like I basically have a full, like the completed Pokédex, and you can still bring that over. You just can't have all of them in the game. So you can still bring over your Pokédex and complete it. Like they're not taking that away from you. And the people who are saying that they're not gonna buy it, 90% of them are still gonna freaking buy it.
Right.
Like, so you can just stop complaining, just because I'll be honest, I was a little, like, I don't want to say upset, just like a little disappointed that since they had to rush the game, they had to take some stuff out, and part of me feels like, hey, just give them more time to make the game that they want to make. But like, I'm still gonna pay my $60. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even mind. I still think it has plenty of cool stuff I'm excited for, so I'm gonna buy
Yeah,
it. You know.
yeah.
Moving on, I also kind of predicted this, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you look
Hmm.
at over on Nintentube, the subreddit,
Yeah.
back during E3, I was hoping they would talk about it then because I knew it was inevitable. They didn't talk about it during E3. But like right before this direct, someone said, "What are your predictions?" or like, "What do you hope for?" And I said, "I hope they finally add SNES to Nintendo Online." Sure
Yeah.
enough, they finally added it.
Oh yeah. So I guess we can put that as another win.
Exactly. See, I'm becoming too powerful, man.
Now, if you could just tell me the lottery numbers, that would be amazing.
Right, I wish. But yeah, I mean, it was really obvious they were going to add SNES. Because,
Hmm.
they've always talked about, like, hackers have found files, like it supports it, you know what I mean? And I always
Yeah,
thought, I think they will add it, but they're probably going to do it, like, in year increments. Like, everyone
yeah,
thinking they were going to do it, like, 3 months after NES. It's like, no, I
yeah.
mean, come on, think about it. It's like, logically, they're going to do it probably like, every year. So probably like a year
Hmm.
from now, they probably will add N64. You just have to wait. Which that's the part that kind of
Yeah,
sucks, but
yeah.
yeah, the takeaway from the story, finally added SNES. It's available today, and they put out 20 titles, which were actually pretty strong titles. They had Super Metroid, Super Mario World, uh, I forget what else. Super Mario World, a few games that haven't come out, like outside of Japan, I believe. Star Fox,
Hmm.
like a few games that are pretty good games, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
Moving on, they had more news for Tetris 99. That game continues to be really big. They talked a little bit more about Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. That's pretty cool. There's going to be another demo for Daemon X Machina, that big mech game. I mean, that's pretty
Hmm.
cool. They announced a few like ports that are coming that people didn't really expect, such
Hmm.
as, I mean, some people expected them. Like The Witcher 3, a lot of people saw that coming. Assassin's Creed, the Rebel Collection, which is like 4 and Rogue, I think. I think there was a leak
Hmm.
about that, so people were kind of expecting it. There's some Star Wars Jedi Knight game. That one's a
Oh
surprise.
yeah. Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, Call of Cthulhu's making its way to Switch. Vampire's making its way to Switch. There was like a whole montage of other games, that's
Hmm.
pretty cool. Uh, Coming towards the end, they show a lot of new footage for Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'll admit,
Yeah.
even though I really love the Animal Crossing games and I'm super excited, I did get a bit bored during that segment because it's like,
Oh
okay, I
yeah,
get it.
same.
Just please move it along. Like, I want to play this for myself. I don't want to watch you guys slowly talk about it, but I'm excited
Yeah.
for that game, definitely.
Hmm.
The closer, which was really interesting because it didn't feel like a closer necessarily.
Hmm.
Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, but it didn't really feel like a stinger at the end, which was weird.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and I can see that. Like, I don't know, like Xenoblade, I've only played one game, and that was like 6 years ago, and I don't even think I finished it. So,
Oh, that's
so
sad.
I don't know. Yeah, so I don't really have like any opinions, I guess, for the Xenoblade franchise. So,
Yeah, I've checked out Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is like which is another game that I talked about in my video that I hope they bring to Switch. I don't really
hmm
know what the chances of that are now, but that's the only one I've ever really touched, and I know it's not really connected to the other games. But
hmm
yeah, definitely not. Xenoblade Chronicles, like the original, is coming to Switch. I'll definitely
yeah.
check it out because I've heard good things. And Shulk, he seems like an interesting character. You know, he's in Smash and everything, so.
hmm
Besides that, just some wrap up. After that ending or whatever, they had like a little segment with Sakurai where he was showing off Banjo-Kazooie, and they showed some costumes, and the one that took the world by storm is that they have added Sans from Undertale as a costume to Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like that one, people were just like, what? Because it looks just like him, and it even comes with a piece of music. Like,
Oh
so a
wow.
lot of people were like, I can't believe Sans is actually, like, technically in Smash Bros. So like, I thought that was
hmm
pretty cool. That was pretty interesting. That was quite a surprise right there. But yeah, that was pretty much it. That's basically all the news. As always, the link in the description below. You can read the stories individually. You can check out the direct. It is embedded at the bottom, as well as like different trailers and stuff. But I love the direct. I thought it was exciting. I thought that, Terry Bogard making it in was awesome. I thought that there being more Smash characters coming up is cool.
hmm
Link's Awakening, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Deadly Premonition 1 and 2, Pokemon Sword and Shield, SNES Online. Like, all of those were really big stories to me. I'm excited for all of those. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Same, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
I
cool,
mean,
cool,
it
cool.
was really cool direct. They definitely did showcase a bunch of games. Like I said, still waiting for freaking Sims on Switch, but I can
I
wait
don't
a
know
little
if
bit
that's ever gonna
longer.
happen. EA
Yeah, I
EA
know.
doesn't like Nintendo, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, that's fine because apparently no one likes EA. So,
But yeah, it sucks. 'Cause I know what you mean. Sims would be super fun on the Switch, but I don't know, man.
yeah,
I've heard EA does not like Nintendo at all. So
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know.
I mean, I
I'll
guess
keep
while
my
we're
fingers
while we're
crossed.
at it, while we're at it, we focus this podcast a lot like on the news and stuff. But going
hmm
into other topics, I guess. What are games that you want to see come to Switch next year? I mean, maybe it's not even
Um,
realistic, but what are games you're hoping come to the Switch?
oof. Let me see. Games that I'm really hoping. Well, Sims, obviously. Mentioned that a few times, and I don't know. I feel like just one of those games. And of course I can't think of it now, but just more third party. I want Nintendo to start branching out more
I
and
mean, they're
getting into
definitely doing
contact with. Yeah,
it.
yeah. but but and I also know that another hurdle with whole bringing games to the Switch is like the power of the Switch and what all they can handle and the links that developers have to go through to actually like put a game on the Switch and whatnot. But I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't mind more indie games. I feel like that would be kind of cool if
I
they
mean, indie
did
games
do.
are also definitely always getting added, so that's not really an issue
Yeah.
so far.
Oof.
uh, like for me, I'm really hoping for like Pikmin 4,
hmm
Bayonetta 3. I'm hoping they make some sort of new Star Fox. I think that would be really cool. Um,
Oh.
I think it would be awesome. I just had a few in mind. What was I thinking? Like I would still love if Persona 5 got ported to Switch. I think that would be really fun, but I don't really think that's gonna happen because I know like that they're getting like the spin-off or whatever. I still think that'd be really
hmm
fun. Um, trying to think of other stuff I would like. Like
Yeah.
I
I
think it'd
mean,
be.
I think you pretty much hit the. I don't know. I feel like you said some good examples. Like just, I feel like what are you more thinking about? Like bringing back some old titles and bringing it
Yeah,
to the Switch. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
kind
So
of, yeah, because like, we're
yeah.
already getting another Luigi's Mansion, so
Mm-hmm.
we got a game there. We're getting another Breath of the Wild, so that's
mm-hmm.
on its way. We're getting Metroid Prime 4 at some point, you know, because they did have to restart production, but that's coming. We're getting a new Animal Crossing, that's coming. So a lot of stuff is already on its way. So that's why I'm just kind of mentioning some stuff that I would like to see, you know, that's been kind of silent for a little bit.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like, well, I guess you did say like it does have to be realistic. So never mind. Okay, let me do some more thinking. I wouldn't mind.
No, you know, shut up. What is the most unrealistic game that we want on the Switch right now?
The most unrealistic game that I want for the Switch right now. Okay. Give me... Oof, I just thought of it. I just thought of one. Most unrealistic game. You know what? I want to see pinball.
Pinball? What?
Yes.
Just pinball in general?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they have it. I'm pretty sure it's in the indie thing somewhere, just versions of pinball. I'm pretty sure they have it, dude. I mean, it's not that unrealistic.
Well, you put me on the spot. Like, that, I'm not good under pressure.
Disappoint me, man. I was expecting some good original ideas from you.
I mean, you know what? Mr. Game & Watch. How about that then?
Oh, like a Mr. Game & Watch, like new version or something?
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. Make a new version, slap it on the Switch, profit.
Nice. Unrealistic. I want a new F-Zero game because apparently Nintendo doesn't remember Captain Falcon exists outside of Smash Bros.
You know, I feel like that's a pretty good example.
Yeah. I want... What else? I want a game where you play... Like, I've always thought this would be a cool game. I know we're never going to get it. I think it would be awesome if we got a game that was a Metroid crossover with F-Zero, where you get to play as both Samus and Captain Falcon, who have to team up for a bounty hunter job.
You know what? I can see that.
Like, there would be segments. There would be segments where you're doing platforming as Samus, you know, like in the traditional Metroid style, and then other segments where you're like driving. No. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So there should be probably some driving. When you drive as Captain Falcon, it'll be in his Blue Falcon, right? When you're driving as Samus, I forget what her airship is called. It'll be her airship, right? Then when you're playing on them as them on the ground, yeah, Samus will be platforming sections. Captain Falcon will be beat 'em up sections.
You know, that sounds pretty amazing. Honestly, I just want the opportunity to say Falcon Punch while playing a video game.
That's what I'm saying. He can do it as it's a beat 'em up, and he's just beating the crap out of people and going Falcon Punch and just beating people up. That'd be awesome.
I mean, you're not wrong. Maybe you should send some emails to Nintendo. You know,
they never listen. But that's always been my dream. Like, I think it would be awesome to have like a Metroid crossover thing with F-Zero, where it's just the two of them teaming up for some sort of a bounty. You know, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, you know that would be pretty nice if I do. You know, I'm gonna steal your idea, send it to Nintendo real quick.
Just send it to them. So stuff like that. You've never had anything like that you would love to see happen, like on a Nintendo console.
I mean, if we're talking unrealistic crossovers, let me get. I want. You know what? I know. Give me a Kirby and Sonic game. I feel like those two.
That's an interesting combination. Nice. All right, Kirby and Sonic. Yeah, so how would it play? What would it be about?
Well, as we know, the Chaos Emeralds, they do their own thing. They go across. I think there was one Sonic game where they actually had to go to like different planets or something to get the Chaos Emeralds. I don't remember at the top of my head, but I think it's a thing. But I feel like one of the Chaos Emeralds ends up in Kirby's domain, and then King Dedede finds it. And then some type of way, he either tries to use it for himself. Excuse me. He tries to like utilize it for himself because he can tell that like there's this powerful energy to it, and he can't get it to work. And then Eggman pops up because he can track them.
Yeah.
Eggman comes. He's like, "Hey, I'll help you," but he's secretly gonna double cross DDD. And then Sonic comes, meets up with Kirby, and they do their thing. And I don't know. Part of me, I also want to see the interaction between Knuckles and Kirby. I think that'd be pretty nice.
How would it play though? Would it play more like a Sonic game, or would it play like a Kirby game?
See, that's the thing. I feel like maybe like they could have those aspects where it's like split up. Sonic. How do I put it? Because Kirby would be the platform, and Sonic. I'm trying to think of an interesting way to actually do Sonic, or like put him in the Kirby game to where it would like fit properly.
Yeah, I think that one's going to take a little bit of work. That's kind of a weird one. You can probably make it work, but you probably have to workshop that one a little bit.
Could. Yeah, a little bit.
All right. I think that's a cool idea, though. It needs a little bit of work, but I could see it.
Look, I'm just saying, let it be known that when this comes to the Switch next year, I'm going to get the credit. Oh, man.
All right. Another thing that I want, and I do look at the time. We have been recording for like an hour and 20 minutes. This is the problem when I record with Slim. It's really fun just talking about all these different things, and before you know it, like time just escapes us. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we will wrap it up, kind of soon. But another game that I really want to see, I don't know how realistic it would be. I would love to see a game that's a sequel to Super Mario Sunshine. I think that'd be really awesome. Because I really love Super Mario Sunshine. I know supposedly I heard it was kind of mixed with the fans and stuff. I really like it. I thought it was like very different. Because of the whole aesthetic of like you're on an island and you collect you collect shine sprites. You have to use like the little water thing to get around, all that good stuff. Yeah. I would love to see some sort of Super Mario Sunshine 2. I think that'd be awesome.
You know what? Yeah, and it kind of just goes, back into what we said earlier with like Nintendo just bringing out those old ideas that they did before, and when was the last Samus game?
Oh God! Or like, what are you counting? Because they had Metroid 2, the remake, and then they had they had Federation Force, which was a spin-off. Yeah, but I think the last actual like new title, I think it was Other M on the Wii, and people hated it because it was stupid. So it's been a while. I think that was like 2011 or something.
Yeah, so I feel like it's long overdue, and and I don't know. I feel like they need to bring back those, or like you said, like bringing back Captain Falcon. Bring back Metroid.
Well, I mean, Metroid is coming. Metroid is coming. Yeah. They had to redo development, but it is coming.
Okay. Yeah,
who needs a new game? You know who hasn't had a game in a while?
Donkey Kong.
Exactly.
Yes.
They need like another Donkey Kong game. That'd be fun.
Yes, they do. And especially because, I don't know, because I think I've said this, to someone else before, but whenever you think of Nintendo, you think Pokemon, Mario, Legend of Zelda. And that's like, I feel like I can definitively say that those are like the big three. And then below them, the B tier, I feel like you got, maybe Kirby. What would another?
Excuse me, Kirby is S tier. He has a game like every year, and they're all good. Excuse me. Don't you remember? He saved everybody in Smash Ultimate. He was like the savior man. Kirby is S tier, right? Excuse me.
Okay. I take it back then. So then you tell me a B tier then.
All right, the way I see it,
what I'm trying to get to is like, I feel like Donkey Kong is kind of pushed towards the wayside, and he shouldn't be, because I feel like they could definitely do more with it if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I see what you mean, especially with how they brought back King K. Rool. Yeah, and based on how he was kind of hanging out with them in their treehouse, when they announced Banjo-Kazooie. Like, some people are wondering if maybe he's, like, on good terms with them now. It would be kind of cool if you have a game maybe where you can play as, like, different members of, like, the DK crew and maybe King K. Rool.
Yeah.
Or even if he's not on good terms with them. I mean, he's back in the spotlight. Even if he's the villain again, that would be fun to have another Donkey Kong Country sort of thing where he's the villain. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think so.
I like how you were about to like put the tears, and I just totally like put the brakes on that. But I get what you mean. If we have to if we have to be realistic, A tier definitely is Mario, Pokemon, Zelda. B tier is like Donkey Kong, Pikmin. What other losers we got? C tier is like, Wario, and I don't know. Oh, they need a new Earthbound game, man. A new Earthbound game would be fun.
That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, yes, a new Earthbound game. Because for someone like me, like, I've never even played one, but I do know that, like, it was a big thing, right?
Earthbound 2 is awesome. Like, I've finished that game like a few times, and I've actually managed to sometimes level up my characters to like level 99, which I never do in any RPG. But Earthbound's really fun. It's really cool. And it has so much interesting mechanics. Like, in RPG battles where it sucks, where if you run into an enemy, even if you're like level 50 and they're level 2, they still make you sit through the fight.
Yeah.
Earthbound doesn't make you do that.
Oh, nice.
If you run across an enemy and you're obviously going to beat them, it just says you won the fight and it gives you the XP.
See,
because why waste your time? Why waste your time? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, like, they need to do that again.
Yeah, a few games have done it. Like, I know Persona 5 does do that. I don't remember what else does it. There are some games that do it, but it's kind of rare, But yeah, we could probably talk about Nintendo forever. I mean, that's why I invited you on.
Yeah.
You're like the Nintendo person. We can talk about different Nintendo things. But yeah, this is going a little long. I think people are going to get bored. So
yeah. You want to wrap it up? Then?
Yeah. But it was fun.
Okay.
I had fun talking to you about like the Direct, different Nintendo things, your Korean dramas. That was all really fun stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so as always, I asked you before the podcast to think of someone you want to give a shout out to, because my last segment of the podcast, I usually reserve it for my content creator spotlight. So I'm going to give you the floor. Who do you want to give a shout out to?
All right. Well, I'm going to give a shout out to a channel that's probably the reason why I'm as like involved with other YouTubers as I am, and probably the reason why we've gotten in contact. Because you're part of it, the Nintentube subreddit. Yeah. He created it. His name is Koolaid Moonwalk. It's also his channel name too. So yeah, check him out. How do I describe what he does? They're like discussion-based content. And he's been in a bit of creative slump lately, and I'm trying to bring him out of that slump. So maybe people could go show some support, go to his videos, tell him to get off his lazy Canadian butt and get to work so that he can bring out some more content. That is another thing. He's probably my favorite Canadian that I've ever met. He owes me some maple syrup, so also comment that to him as well. tell him Terrific wants his syrup. But no, like, he just does like different discussion-based content, and he does cover Nintendo news and whatnot, probably way better than I ever could. But yeah, what was it, back in my early days when I was just like posting randomly onto different Reddits to see what stuck, he like sent me a message of like, hey, you do Nintendo stuff, you should come to my subreddit and might have some fun. And I did, and I got really involved. It was when the subreddit was a little baby. Now it has a Discord and everything, so also check that out. So yeah, I've met a lot of cool people there. I think that's one of the reasons why I got in contact with you, because we're both on there. And I don't know, like, he's made it possible for me to meet a bunch of cool people. So I wanted to give him a shout out.
That's definitely a good pick. Koolaid Moonwalk is definitely a cool guy. The Nintentube subreddit, it's definitely a fun place, There's different like discussion videos, different playthroughs. They do all sorts of like events on the subreddit. Like, I know right now they have that little like quiz thing where you answer some questions about this topic. This time it's Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Yes.
But they've done all sorts of stuff. Like, I know they did like a little event for E3 where they were asking people to post their predictions, and you could have like safer predictions and like more crazy predictions, and then they give you points. Like they're always doing cool stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely a good pick. You know, it's a nice little community, and Koolaid Moonwalk. I mean, he should be proud of the little community he started. It's really cool.
Yeah, he should, and we're even doing different like tournaments now. Like they, I think they're about to start their second Smash tournament. I think they've actually ended it, but we're about to do a Pokemon Showdown tournament too. And it's funny just how bad he is at it, but but no, it's just really fun. Like it's a nice little place to just chill and talk to people, which is nice, and especially different people who are interested in the same thing as you. You know, like we all like Nintendo stuff, but we also talk about more than just Nintendo, which is nice. So yeah.
All right, so there you have it, folks. Terrific has chosen Koolaid Moonwalk as his content creator he wanted to spotlight. He also talked about the Nintentube subreddit. So I'm going to do my best to link those in the description below so you guys can check them out. As I always say, you know, check these people out, give them some love, leave comments, subscribe, all that sort of thing. And, you know, if you end up checking them out and giving them some love, let them know that you came because of, you know, Wannabe Reviewer and Terrific. So there you go.
Yeah.
Alrighty, with that being said, that brings us to the end of another podcast. Yeah, having guests on is so much fun. I feel like I just talk forever, but, you know, then this would never end, and I still have to, like, upload it and stuff. But I definitely had a lot of fun with this. I don't know, it's just really fun just being able to talk to you. Like, with Slim, we were talking about, like, anime and, like, video games just, like, in general. And I know he's, like, an older guy, so it was interesting hearing, like, his perspective of, like, the difference, like, in generations. And with you, it's just fun talking about, like, Nintendo stuff in general, like games you want to see coming up and stuff we're excited to play, all that good stuff. So I had a fun time. Thank you for being on. Hopefully in the future, I'll have you on again, you know, for more Nintendo content or whatever. And I just want to say that, as I said at the beginning, Terrific, he's an awesome Let's Player. He has all sorts of cool content over on his channel. You should check him out. In the past, we need to get back to that. But in the past, we did like a little review of the first Pokemon movie, and we're hoping to sit down and like record more, you know, for each movie or whatever. But I thought that was really fun, just talking about the first Pokemon movie, what we thought about it, some of like the mistakes and, you know, that sort of thing. Go check that out. And I don't know, do you want to announce the other thing we're working on? Do you want to kind of give a little shout out to that or not yet?
Yeah, I guess we can give a little bit of a shout out to it. It's a Zelda game, and it's a beloved Zelda game. And I guess as a little hint, it takes place in the child timeline? Or is that called the fallen timeline? I don't remember which timeline it's called.
It is the child timeline, yes. Wait,
okay,
no, hold on. Is that the way it works?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the child timeline, yeah, because the adult timeline would be the one that he left behind, so it would be like Wind Waker and stuff, yeah. So yeah, this is the child timeline, yes.
Yeah, and how do I put it? I guess...
What part do I play in all this?
What part do you play? Oh, Wannabe Reviewer is my guide. He's keeping me from being lost because I tend to get lost a lot in Zelda games. So he's keeping me on track. He's also making fun of me and criticizing me, but I'm used to it at this point. So yeah.
Alrighty. And when can they expect the first episode of this mysterious LP?
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday?
Yep.
Alright, so there you have it, folks. Over on Terrific's channel, he's starting a new playthrough of a Zelda game, and I will be there as like a co-commentator. I have the guide open and stuff. I'm kind of helping to lead him. So if you want to check out more of his stuff that includes me, then there you go. Expect it on Tuesday.
Yes.
All right. So before we go, is there anything that you want to say? Any final like little goodbye or whatever?
You know what? I just want to say, thanks for having me. We've been in contact for a while now, so it's nice to finally do some more collaborative projects with you on your channel this time versus mine.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the podcast aspect is nice to just sit down and talk and just with no limits except that we can't let it get past like 2 hours. So,
but yeah, I'm
this
definitely.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun having you on. Like I said, in the future, I'll try my best to have you on again. I'm definitely trying to get guests on more frequently now because, yeah, you know, I've been on YouTube. I think in October, end of October will be like 3 years. And
Oh,
I
wow.
definitely spent a lot of time without really collaborating with people or really opening up. And I really want to do more of that because I think it's really fun. So I'll definitely have
Yeah.
you on again, you know. Before
I mean,
we
you
go,
should be better.
yeah. Before we go, one last thing. At the end of each podcast, I don't know how many people stick to the end, but I always have some sort of a song that I play at the end, you know, so I'm going to, you know, transfer it over to you. What song would you like me to put at the end of this episode?
Well, to commemorate my my Twilight Princess LP that just ended, I've been playing the game for like 8 months. But to commemorate that ending, I want you to put like the music from like the epilogue. I don't know if you want to like find a remastered version or what, or take the original, but I don't know, it's just something peaceful, something nice. And it's also when we say goodbye to the best waifu in Zelda, which is Midna.
Oh, I know. That was sad, man. That was super sad. All right. I don't off the top of my head know what that song is called, but I'll definitely look it up. And yeah, if I find it, you guys will hear it in a few seconds. So there you go. But yeah, until next time, you know, I'll try to be back here next week for episode 46. My name is the Wannabe Reviewer. It's been a pleasure. I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you guys next time.
Bye.